Toyota Lounge, powered by your local Front Range Toyota dealerships.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast. The Avs win Game 2 over the Winnipeg Jets 5-2 to even the series at 1. Redemption is absolutely the name of the game for this one for Colorado. Not just Georgiev, but obviously that's the big conversation here. But I think there was a lot of redemption arcs here, Josh Manson being one of them. The Avs, they put it together tonight and did what they had to do to go out and get a W. Everyone wants to talk about it, so let's just start with the goalie conversation. Great game from Alexander Georgiev. No notes. He was awesome.
I mean, and that's what, if you watch pregame, we said, hey, at the end of the day, what are the odds that they make a change? It's 0 because there's nobody available.
And then couldn't play.
And they might have made the change, but then we also flipped the script and we said, what? Maybe Eustace's illness saves, it opens the door from not losing his net. And it's your chance, and sometimes you need to be at the bottom. And for me, that was bottom last game. It's been a tough few weeks, And then I tipped my hat. We said we were going to pull for him today. We did. He was awesome. He was great. The rest of the team was great too, but he did what he had to do. And he was better, like you said, than the guy down the freaking ice from him. He was way better than Vezina guy Connor Hellebuyck. Avs win the game. So hats off to Georgiev.
And you know what? For a guy who certainly I have questioned his mental fortitude repeatedly this year, a great job of holding it together, not letting that game 1 get to you and do what you needed to do in game 2. It's got to go do it for the rest of the playoffs, but you can only play the game you're in. I say it all the time. And Georgiev played great. So hats off to him. Well done.
I apologize for calling him a member of the Lollipop Guild. I had forgotten about that. My bad.
But I tell you, I mean, I'll just add one more comment. They play with some balls too. I mean, you're down 1-0 in the series. I don't care if you're home or on the road. You go down 2-0. We said
it's tough. Yeah,
it's 86% in the history of the NHL. You go down two Cobb, you lose the series. So I'm not saying they can't be, but it was a must win for the Avs tonight, and they sure got it.
Not just being down 1-0 in the series, but they're down 1-0
in the game.
Like 2 minutes into the game. It was immediately off the hop. They were down 1-0.
Yep.
Then they tie it up. Then it's like, they don't score on a 4-minute power play. Get scored on immediately, and you're like, oh, Jesus, man. This is rough.
Yep.
And then the Avs kicked it into a different gear. Some things went their way, and they capitalized on chances, and the Jets didn't.
And you got gifted, too, with the Hellebuyck.
Thank you for doing my 60-second rundown for me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Look, teamwork. It's
amazing.
Theme of the night.
It is. Teamwork.
Yeah.
What a nice goal you got.
You have Georgiev bouncing back. On the other side, Connor Hellebuyck. He had an 870 game 1. Do you know what he had tonight?
Please tell me it was an 870.
It was an 871.
Oh, damn. Improvement. He got better. He's trending up.
But I'm saying, look, you go one more game. If Hellebuyck struggles in game 3, too, there's a crack in that armor, man.
Yeah, we're not having the Laurent Brossoit conversation or anything.
Of course not. But
this definitely, and I think what's interesting is Bucky looked so good early on.
The first 15 shots, he looked unbeatable.
Yeah, the first period, you're watching him and you're like, oh my God, all the pucks that were right around him at his feet, right in the crease,
on it, laser beam,
swallowing them up, and then that stopped.
Yep, and then some.
Yeah, well, and then I mean the third goal is a nightmare.
Yeah,
honestly, you look at a couple of these goals today. The first goal, totally unprepared, just falls asleep,
not ready for the face-off,
just falls asleep on it. You're like, what in the world? If that had happened, if Georgiev gives that up,
we'd be freaking out about it.
We'd be apoplectic.
Sure. Absolutely,
like we'd be like, what is going on here?
Second goal's great. Nothing he can do on a second goal for sure. Third goal is obviously entirely his fault, but it's not a save-making problem. It's,
you get forechecked by Yakov Trenin because you're getting cute with the puck.
Yep. And then fourth goal, look, I get it's a breakaway, but also that's Josh Manson, dude.
Like Josh Manson doesn't make a move. He just like skates in and is like, I'm going 5-hole. And Bucky was like, yeah, you are. And that was the end of it.
That's awesome.
Sheesh.
Great job by Josh Manson.
Yep. And sheesh.
You know what's funny? Eric and I were watching the Tampa Bay, Florida game.
Yep.
At the same time. And Aaron Ekblad had a clean breakaway, just like that, clean breakaway. And similarly, two defensemen, Aaron Ekblad, Josh Manson. Not a
really
lot of breakaway experience.
Dudes,
yeah. Ekblad also had no move, but he tried to go high glove.
Yeah.
Mistake.
And nothing. Nothing doing. Yeah. Vasi was like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
And Manson just looks like he catches Hellebuyck totally off guard.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You'll take it. Yeah, you'll take it.
Great job by the referee there to get out of the way. Whoa,
he almost got ran over by Josh Manson.
Also a really good job to set an accidental pick on Gabe Vilardi. Did not need the help because Gabe Vilardi's slow as shit, but it was very funny to watch anyway.
It is fun to watch a guy ride a bike on NHL ice.
It is. And that guy, that's why he's really good behind the net. Because you ask him to be anywhere else. It's
tough out here.
Tough.
Let's rewind it back here. Go a little bit chronologically. I don't know what Tiff is fixing back there, but she's fixing it.
This is where we catch fire.
Maybe. A couple minutes into this game, a puck in front, a little bit of chaos created by Winnipeg. A tough one for Yakov Trenin for me. Guy just floats away from the dangerous area, doesn't stay with his man. And it's his guy who puts it into the back of the net on a puck that...
Well, it just shows you can't fall asleep for half a second in this league, especially in the playoffs, because the space is so valuable. And he just goes for a loop instead of being a piston, right? Stop, start, stop, starts. You know, you can't go for figure skating loops. You can't. And he does, and he catches himself, and he tries to come back. He's too late. Then you can see his face. It's like, that's on me. But you know what?
Redemption.
On that Hellebuyck frickin' thing, watch him flying from the frickin' outside the zone. He is flying. So, got it back for me.
Honestly, almost did it earlier in the game on the PK when they reversed that puck and when Bucky came out to revert.
Wood just couldn't quite get to the angle.
No, but he couldn't but do you see the way Hellebuyck went back to his net?
It was so casual. Yeah, it was weird.
It was
just
really
chilling,
casual.
man. He was just like... I don't know. It was a weird night.
It was a weird night.
After two of them, though, where you're looking at it with Bucky, you're kind of like,
maybe just stay in your net, bud.
Like, you've given up a lot of goals in 2 games after acing the regular season.
Yep. 10 and 2.
Yeah.
For Bucky. So, look.
Jesus.
I know.
10 and 2 what?
10 goals in 2 games.
Oh, God.
Against Bucky.
I didn't know what you were saying. I was like, yeah. In 5 periods, actually.
Yeah, 5 periods, really. I'm happy about it. I'm sure Jets fans aren't very happy about it, but...
I would have loved to have been at the block party during that third period as chances are just falling by the wayside, and it's like, go home. Clear out.
There will be no fun tonight.
Exactly. Get out of here, kids.
You go through the rest of that first period, and I'm going to be honest, the Avs figured it out, I think, in the last 5 or so minutes of that period, but it was not a good period for Colorado, the first 15 minutes of it. They were really not doing much. Particularly, I think you look at that top line. Look, I tried to defend Mikko a little bit after game 1 because, sure, he did the Mikko cruise around thing, but he picked up 2 points. Tonight, you just straight up did not get enough out of Mikko Rantanen on that top line. You need more there. If you want to win this series, you need more there out of Mikko Rantanen. McKinnon, I don't think he was great either, but, I think the effort was there at very least. But I'll open it up to you guys. Top line, did you see anything specific that you need more out of or that you think worked well?
Well, I'll give it to you.
More out of, let's just say yes.
The whole thing. Fair enough.
Nathan McKinnon was a turnover machine in this game.
It was one of those games where he got obsessed with that seam pass again.
Yeah.
I get you have to try it sometimes, but 15 times is a few too many.
And I thought Mikko's game was pretty well exemplified by late in the third period, one of the few offensive pushes that they actually had.
Yep.
And he's trying that chip shot.
Yeah.
When he's behind the goal line.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, can we just keep it simple? Do we have to try and make everything super like this little cutesy? Like, I love your creativity and your willingness to try some stuff. Is this the time?
No.
So I'm, man, I thought that was frustrating. There were a lot of moments that E and I were just watching through the game like, Mikko, what are you doing here, man?
Mikko was a tough one. He really was. McKinnon, you can at least point to, hey, there were some good things he did on things like zone entries. He gets that pass up to Josh Manson on what was the Avs' fourth goal.
Sure.
There are places where I can look and say, good job.
It's not nothing, brother. It's not nothing.
And that's the problem with Mikko is nothing.
Yeah.
Well, which is a good sign for me because you're going to get 2 days off here.
Yep.
Then you're going to come Friday. What is it, an absurd start time again? Or is it?
Yeah, I think it's a 7:30 Mountain.
Okay,
It's
so
slightly later, but it's not too bad.
Is it a
Whatever.
full 8? Well, this was basically an 8, so whatever, yeah.
All right. Carry on. I thought that's a good sign, meaning
There's more to give. Yeah.
Mac's been dominant all year at home. Everybody's followed suit. I feel good about Mac's game, like taking another step in game 3. Mikko will follow, as we know, 2 peas in a pod there. I mean, Makar was outstanding. You can't ask much more from him, but
unreal.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about him more.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's still room to grow. There's still room to grow their game. Good step for Georgiev, like we talked about. Now we just need him again, just to be good.
Yep.
He was good. He just needs to be good. But yeah, I think there's a little more from. I mean, I'm not bashing on Parise, but you can see you're missing Drouin a little bit. I mean, they were so good together, right?
Yeah.
Drouin on that line. So you kind of see it a little bit at 5v5 right now, where Drouin was a magical with those guys down the stretch, right? The last 30 games or so. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I feel good about the top line because they have a lot more to give,
Well, and for so much of the criticism about the Avs and how they're a one-line team, and it's
exactly
they live and die with those guys.
It was everybody tonight.
All right,
man.
well,
Yeah.
they scored 6 goals in the first game. Kale McCarr had 3 assists.
Yeah.
McKinnon and Rantanen come away with 2
couple
points.
points each. Yep.
Yeah, McCarr had 3 points. I'm sorry. You walk out of the game 1 and you're like, okay, well, they accounted for some of the 6 goals that you score, but you lose the game. Game 2, you score 5, and those guys don't really do much.
Makar was the most impactful.
Definitely.
McKinnon had one
has a
assist.
primary assist, but you're talking about all the offense comes elsewhere.
Miles Wood,
2 in a row.
Yeah, Miles
Zach
Wood,
Parise.
Miles Wood, Zach Parise, like you're Miles Wood, Ross Colton, and Yoel Kiviranta play on a third line that kicks ass tonight.
Dominated.
Kicks ass. And coming into the series, the story was going to be so much about Adam Lowry going against Nathan McKinnon and watch him shut down Nathan McKinnon, take him out of the game. We're talking about they need more from Colorado's top line. They haven't taken him out of the game. McKinnon has 3 points in 2 games.
Yep.
And at worst, McKinnon has broken even in his matchups. If that's taking Nathan McKinnon out of the game, you still have a problem, especially when Colorado's third line is the one that's actually eating greedy here. Now, I know Adam Lowry had a 2-goal first game, but whatever. give it to him. Miles Wood has goals in back-to-back games. Like, Colorado's depth is getting it done here. They're doing a good job. And that has to be going back to Denver. Now Bednar gets to hunt whatever matchup he really wants with Nathan MacKinnon.
Yep. Which he much prefers to go top line on top line.
Well,
so.
and we'll see what he wants to do, because now he's going to be able to be like, all right, well, we're just going to put the top line out against
whoever we want.
Yeah, your fourth line or, whatever. He gets to go hunting for what he wants. Rick Bowness got 2 games of what he wanted. And he has to be and
his team gave up 10 goals.
Well, he has to be fine with the head-to-head results.
11 with the empty netter. Sure, I get it.
Yeah, he has to be fine with the results of how Lowry and MacKinnon went, because getting Lowry to break even with Nathan MacKinnon is
tough ask.
It's a victory for the Jets.
Yeah.
But that they're 1-1 now in this series and they've given up 11 goals in 2 games
not great,
is
Bob.
a really big problem for them.
Yep.
Because this is a team that, they had the whole, they haven't given up 3 goals, and they've got the Vezina winner, and their defense, and this, the reality of it was that when, as much as they were in the goal suppression, they couldn't score consistently. Yep. Their game 1 explosion had a whole lot to do with the guy in net on the other end, and not quite as much to do with them. And then we saw that guy tighten the screws. The defense, for my money, played pretty much the same. And the difference is that not everything goes into the net.
Yep. That's
your goalie plays so much better, erases the golden scoring chances that they did get. Yep. They were there. They just didn't end up in the net.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, you have the Vezina, you have the pending Vezina trophy winner has gotten lit on fire in 2 games. And the Avs have to feel great right now.
Absolutely.
Everything
they're on that plane bopping.
Absolutely. Everything after game 1 that I was nervous about. The Jets are going to come out way better. There's no way the Avs are going to be that effective against them. Oh, well, they were. Not to that level of one-sided dominance.
But the Avs still did what they needed to do.
You watch as that game was still, tied, close, whatever.
Yeah.
Until the start of the 3rd period, when the Avs just were like, we're just going to pack it in and try not to do anything crazy here. Until that point, the longer that game was going on, the Avs were just taking over more and more and more.
Yep. Save
for that 4-minute power play, which was...
It was bad. It was bad.
Crime against humanity.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it was bad.
I mean, that could have been the turning point.
It nearly was, given the Jets scored immediately after.
I mean, that's a no-no. 4-minute power play, you get barely 1 shot. But then again, they committed no-no with 7 seconds to go.
We'll get to it. We got to do these before they get warm, though. So, almost 400 likes already, chat. Get us to 400. We'll do another one. How about that?
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all. Some Dr. Dubs.
God, man, can you not just...
No, I can't. I just ruined everything.
This is why I have to clean this stuff.
I'll clean it up later. It's fine.
What was that for?
I'm spilling this
No,
everywhere.
but why'd you go back there?
What?
Why'd you go touch
Just to touch it somewhere. That's all.
Touch it on the surface.
All right. Buddy, no. I have no idea. I didn't know you were
What
supposed
an
to tap
animal.
the shot.
All right. On that note, we are brought to you by Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Go to your local Front Range Toyota dealership and go check out one of their ridiculous number of vehicles. 17 different all-wheel or four-wheel drive vehicles. Great for Colorado. You can get in on the 4Runner or the RAV4. Or if you're a truck person, they got the Tundras and the Tacomas. Whatever you need, Toyota has it. Go check them out. If you haven't gotten with them yet, they also have 16 different hybrid vehicles, including hybrid trucks like the iForce Max. Whatever car, Toyota. They got them all. Everything you need, not just the official vehicle of DNVR. They're also the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche. Go to your local Toyota dealership, which can be any of, depending on where you live. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. The official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche and the official vehicle of DNVR. And then we're super excited to announce our new partner here at DNVR, Clutch Bet Sports. They offer more unique promotions and odd boosts on Colorado's hometown teams than any other sportsbook in the state. Right now, for the playoffs, you can go get with Clutch Bet, and they're offering a $5 bonus bet for every game the Colorado Avalanche win during the Stanley Cup playoffs. If you believe the Avs are going to get a bunch of win these Stanley Cup playoffs, could be up to 16 $5 bonus bets. To be eligible, all you have to do is put $25 or more on the Avs to win at the Stanley Cup, and Clutch Bet will take care of the rest. So if the Avs get to round 2 and win one game, you get your money back on bonus bets. It's that easy. New Clutch Bet players are also eligible to receive a 100% first bet match up to $250 in bonus bets paid over your first 5 weeks. Download the Clutch Bet Sportsbook app today and be sure to keep an eye out for other great promotions and offers on the Avalanche, Denver Nuggets, Colorado Rockies, Denver Broncos, and more. Must be 21 or older and located in the state of Colorado. Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you or someone you know needs help. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Now, we will get into some of the rough spots, some of the negatives that we haven't already, but before we do that, let's get into the 3 stars of the game, because the Avs won this game. We should be hyped. We should be pumped. We should be enjoying this.
I think we are.
We are.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to down the vibes with the negative stuff.
No, we're just not that beat.
We are not the over the top hype. You're right. It's not who we.
And every time I act like that, somebody always gives me shit.
The closest we get to that is on the watch along, to be honest.
Definitely.
So tune into those if you want to see us lose our minds. Anyway, star number 3. I don't know who they. Oh, there's all of them.
There's all of them. Just
Cale Makar.
No spoilers.
Honestly, deserves a second assist in my opinion on the empty netter. But
he just rocks. Pretty well said. Tiff.
Dude's awesome. Dude is awesome. For the struggles that Mikko has had, for Mac not being great tonight, Cale Makar has been exactly the guy you want him to be so far these playoffs.
Last game tonight, he knows, puts a lot of pressure on himself as a leader in this team, as a leader on the ice, as one of the all-time greats. I mean, he's already, 25, 24 years old, whatever he is. He's already
25.
I mean, he's already one of the all-time greats of the league, of this franchise. So but he wants more. He wants more. And then you can see he knew going in there, I got to have my top game. We're down 1-0. I had a great game. It doesn't matter. We got the big L. Now it's like, I'm going to show everyone that I'm the man. And he is the man. So next thing you know, he plays a great game. Now you're going home. He's feeling it right now. He's feeling good about it. It's 25 minutes a night where he stabilizes the game. It just makes such a big difference when this guy's on the ice. Like I said, Rudo can go to the bathroom all he wants. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
No,
Rudo can go.
I'm not going to the bathroom ever. During a playoff game, buddy.
You just, it's calming. It's calming when you see this guy out there. So he was amazing. Yeah. Good choice on the stars there, and well deserved. He was the man out there.
They did add the other assist to him, so
count it.
This is the NHL.
And of course, Mikko memes his way into a point in this hockey game.
Mikko Rantanen just falls backwards into points in the postseason. It's incredible, man.
Star number 2, Artturi Lehkonen. 2-point night for him. Obviously, the huge tying goal to make it 2-2 on the tip play. I said this towards the end of the regular season. It's incredible how much of a stabilizing presence Artturi has become for the Colorado Avalanche forward core. Just consistently that guy being in the right spots at the right times to give them an extra assist, an extra goal. And obviously, he's not going to replace Gabe Landeskog. No one can replace Gabe Landeskog. But with Landy out of the lineup, someone has to fill that role. And Lecky's done a pretty decent job of it.
Yeah, and in this game, I mean, he gives them that secondary presence. He gives them that physicality and the try hard. The tip goal, it's a dirty goal. It's a Pizza Hut goal. It's not, and that goal changes the game because it's 2-1.
The Avs are coming after that goal too.
It's 2-1. The Avs don't score on the 4-minute power play. The Jets come down and they score on a tough one for Jack Johnson. And
we'll get to
it. Lehkonen's goal, that tip, just it's almost like it's switched on.
Yep.
That the Avs went from, all right, we're trying to tie this thing, to now they're hunting.
This is our game.
And that's the kind of mentality that you saw with Trennan attacking Hellebuck.
Yep.
On the forecheck like that.
And
it's a hunt mentality.
Yep.
And with Lecky, he sets that tone so much for the Avs in this game. He specifically sets that tone, plays that way. Other guys pick it up, start going after it, and he's just so good all game long.
Yep.
And even on top, if I can add to it, is on that Manson goal. Yeah, it's a nice pass from McKinnon, but I don't care that I think it's Ehlers that's on his tush. You know what I mean? But he makes the smart play, wins that. I don't care that it's a battle against a guy on his ass. He still comes up with the puck, just a little smart little pass to Mac, and then hits Manson and the back of the net, right? I mean, think about that. The puck is in their zone with, what, 10 seconds to go?
Well,
and then at 6 seconds, it's in the net.
Perfectly exemplifies what AJ's talking about the Avs being a team that's hunting. Go watch them in the first period, and you're watching Winnipeg win all the races, win all the battles. And they were getting away with it. They only gave up 1 in that period. It's not like it's a disaster. But when they start going in and winning those battles, even if they are easy battles to win, guess what? The puck goes the right direction and ends up in the back of the other team's net.
And it's fortuitous timing, but
of course,
you also have to make the most of that situation.
Yep.
And you're at 3-2 in that game. 3-2 going into the third period. You got work to do. You're one bounce, you're one weird play, one Yakov-Trennan bad half-second decision on the first goal. You're one hockey thing away from being tied up in the game, and now you're in a different world.
Yep.
Lehkonen kickstarts that play. They get up. They get up the ice. Manson scores. Now you're in 4-2, and you're like, all right, now you guys have to start to hunt. And as we saw in the third period, that dog don't hunt.
It really didn't. And got to save that for later because we got to get to our first star first. And you all know who this is going to be. Come on. Alexander Georgiev. For all of the hate I gave him in game 1, he deserves all of the praise in game 2.
Absolutely. It's so funny to be on social media and something like this where you throw a missile at a guy because he gives up 7 goals, and we were flabbergasted that was considered aggressive by some people in the world. 7 goals in a playoff game on 23 shots. It was insane to me.
It's genuinely one of the worst playoff performances of the last 30 years.
And it was. And easily one of the worst in Avalanche history.
Yep. And as bad as that sucks, it makes it that much cooler that he comes back and does the job. May
not have even gotten this opportunity had Justus Annunen been healthy. May not have even finished the last game. We could be in such a different world if Justus Annunen just doesn't get sick in Winnipeg.
Yep. Who knows?
And
Justus could have given up 6 tonight. We don't live in that world.
Exactly. And Georgiev comes back in this game knowing that this could be it for him. This does not go well. Prosvetov is back healthy. Prosvetov is back with the team. At least a guy who's played some games for them.
Someone you could at least think about putting in there.
Right. It's become such an interesting what if moment for the Avalanche, because what if Justus is healthy? We don't live in that universe. Georgiev got the game, and he responded in the way that you want a number 1 starter to respond. That's what we wanted to see from Alexander Georgiev in game 1. Yep. And he deserves, we're all eating it right now. All of us who are out on him, we're eating it right now. We deserve that. We own that. That's fine. Georgiev deserves the net in game 3, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
But this is the redemption for him is fantastic.
It's awesome.
And we've all said we're not rooting against him. None of us are sitting up here get him out of the net because I don't like him or whatever. It's about winning games. It's about winning a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
And when you give up 7 on 23 shots in game 1,
you lose some trust.
The only way you're getting back in the net in game 2 is if you're in a weird fluky situation
where your
such as where
backup is so sick that he can't play.
Yes, like you're in that situation where they're like, we have to ride with you.
Yep.
And he rewarded that.
He did.
It's not even really faith. It was more just like, we don't have a better option. And he said, all right, bet.
And
I'm going to start to try to build it up in this game.
And great. He played well enough to get the net in game 3. Awesome. It's one game at a time from here. Go do it again in game 3. Now you're cooking with fire.
Yeah, and we were talking about it before we went live that he's such an emotional time bomb.
Yep.
But if you pump him up,
just get him to that level.
This is what decides the postseason. Year after year after year, you have a goaltender who just gets wings in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And just flies to a Stanley Cup. You know, Jordan Binnington did this a few years ago. Aiden Hill did it last year. The Avs Stanley Cup run is a little bit different because that was a weird, freaky mashup of goalies who didn't play very well.
Arguably the best pound-per-pound skating team of the last 40 years.
Like they were fantastic and they overcame not great goaltending.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay had Andrei Vasilevsky, which is just a different beast entirely.
Which is only great goaltending.
Right. So, but it's with Georgiev, it's like, if this is what a tremendous timeline it would be. If this is the game that gets him back into it, that gets the confidence in the team in front of him back up, that gets the confidence in himself back up, and he just catches fire. Because it switches just like that.
Yep.
In the same way that Georgiev had like a 913, 914 save percentage over a handful of games in the regular season, and then it switched. He fell apart. Had a horrible final 7 games of the season, and a disaster game 1, and a fantastic game 2.
Well, this is why I like sports. 60 minutes ago, everybody wants to bury him, and not very pleased with him, and then you go out, you're only as good as your last performance. That's as a team, as an individual. So he puts up a great game. Now it sets the team up for a 1-1 series, right? Going into Denver, where they've dominated all season long, best home team in the NHL. He makes 2-3 saves to start the game. All of a sudden, the place is going to go bonkers. Georgie. That's why I love sports. You know what I mean? And then it gives you confidence. You know what I mean? And then you reward them with your next 5 minutes. You play good again, and then everything's forgotten. And then not forgotten by the press or by the fans, but forgotten by himself. Like, now you're just thinking about you're the man, and you're not questioning everything like game 1, where you could tell he was questioning every move he was making. So it's amazing what the crowd can do Friday for him. You know what I mean? Because he made that big step today. Now he needs another couple steps.
I genuinely hope Friday night, game 3, first game of the series in Denver, that when he gets introduced, I want the entire building chanting his name. I want that for him.
I agree with you.
I want them do everything that has to happen to pump that dude up. This can be like the story with the Phillies, and I don't remember his name right now, but the guy from the Phillies who was having a really tough time, but instead of drilling him and booing him, they tried to build him up. They cheered him on. They gave him standing O's. They did whatever. He turned it around, caught fire, and played great. Let's do that.
We got it. The
build
DNVR bar was chanting his name at the end of this game.
The DNVR bar was chanting his name. It's crazy.
This was the same bar that was like screaming
game 1
the day
was
before.
Murdering him.
Yep. And like, hey, he had the kind of performance that he did. I want Avs fans to give him that coming into it.
Yep.
Please wait till the end.
That's what redemption is. We got to do ad reads first.
Yeah. And super chats.
Well, it's coming off for that.
Yeah.
On that note,
a bit that we do?
We are brought to you by Coors Light. Go get yourself the beer made for chilling. God knows I needed to chill at intermissions in this game. Holy, going to have a heart attack otherwise. Coors Light, you can go get it at your local liquor store anywhere in the U.S., but you don't even have to do that. You can get it delivered right to your front door thanks to Instacart when you go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. So go get yourself one today. It's literally the beer made to chill. Go get yourself some brewed right here in Golden, Colorado. You can't go wrong with a Blue Mountain beer chilled to perfection. Coors Light, please drink responsibly. Brewed in Golden, Colorado. Coors Brewing Company. Also brought to you by the folks over at Red Hawk Roofing. Not quite as many leaks in the Avalanche to fix tonight for Red Hawk Roofing. Nope. But make sure your roof is all good. You know, if this is Colorado, there's going to be some hailstorms this spring. You know it's going to happen. When it does happen, call Red Hawk Roofing. Get them out there. At least get a free inspection. Have them go up on your roof. Make sure they look around and make sure everything's okay. It costs you nothing. They'll take pictures. They'll show you what's going on up there. And if you do have a problem, give them a call. You don't even have to wait. They're available 24/7. Have emergency services if you do spring a leak and you need them to come patch something up. They also, of course, will just fix your roof like normal if you didn't panic and break something. Go check them out. Local business just like us here at DNVR, redhawkroofing.com. Get that free inspection today. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Touch on one or two more negatives briefly here. A second goal against, obviously, the power play itself, not good enough. Not even okay, they didn't score, it's not good enough. You basically didn't generate anything on a 4-minute power play. Crush your momentum in the game. Just has to be better.
It's tough because Makar doesn't even play with the first unit. He only gets out there with the second unit.
Really only plays like 40 seconds maybe.
Yeah. And then when the first unit comes back out there, Makar gets off the ice. So you have like this disjointed because he's the one who takes the stick to the mouth.
Yep.
For me, that could have been a huge no-no there because I 5-on-3, if you don't convert, is a big no-no. Now, this is not a 5-on-3, but it's still a 4-minute double minor. Yep. And the way it happened is they gave up, what, one shot? I mean, they got one shot, I think, on that 4 minutes. I think there were two.
It might have been two. But
yeah, they might have given him a second one at the end, but
their
one
bench
for sure.
is going nuts. The crowd is going nuts. Yeah. It is a momentum swing. And I'm telling you, go back and look at games. That's why I say use the 5-on-3 as a no-no. I never write down double minor as a no-no, but 5-on-3, the puck's in your net if you don't score. It just happens all the time. They go off, and it's such a momentum swing, and you're so pumped, and next thing you know, we freaking knew that puck was going to be in the net.
Well, it was a double whammy because the 4 minutes ends, and then they get an outrageously good scoring chance with Ross Colton in the middle of the ice.
And then he makes
from 4 feet away. You get a save. Yep. Kyle Connor goes down the other way. Jack Johnson plays absolutely no defense whatsoever, and you're done.
Well, his stick was in the. I mean, his stick's in the air. It's stick on stick, right? So I could have been
literally anything would have been nice.
My problem with it is not just the poor defense, which he does get lit on fire. He's got to make a better play there. But you're coming into the zone, and Jack Johnson says, hey, I'm taking this guy. This is my guy. Makes it very clear. I forget who the forward is coming back. But the communication's there. Okay, that's your guy. Take him. And he fails.
No.
There's no excuse. There's no, oh, well, we got this mix-up. That's just you getting beat.
But what I'll say about that play, though, which I hated because I really was like down because it's like, whoa, that is a freaking killer, right? Yeah. But what I like about it now, knowing the score at the end of the game, I love the pushback. You know what I mean? They came back. And for guys that have never been in the playoffs, Middlestat, I don't even know Duhaime has, or, I don't believe so. Minnesota?
Maybe.
They were not. Maybe.
He was like a fringe guy there at times, too.
But anyway, I'm using guys like that. It's guys that you learn in playoffs, and there's no better environment than a ruckus building in Winnipeg. You fall down early in the game. The crowd is going into it. And the last two games, they've had pushback. I know I say it all the time, but I loved it. And that's how you learn, because don't think that you just learn in one game in playoffs. You learn throughout the whole 4 rounds, just like the Avs learned so much 2 years ago. And then you keep that in your repertoire. Big word. And then SAT word there. But you just got to remember that you're ready to, you remember those little things, and it helps you throughout. Like, you don't panic. You know what I mean? When you're down, you just know that, hey, if you just bring your heart rate up a little bit, have a little bit pushback, get yourself back into the game, So I thought that was excellent the last 2 games, and I think it was learning lessons for guys that have never been there.
It's really what the entire Stanley Cup playoffs is all about, because it's not all going to go well.
That's it.
It's entirely about, there's nothing that reveals the character of a team more than the Cup playoffs, because there's ebbs and flows to a game. And watching how the last couple of games have gone, they couldn't get a save in game 1, but I even wrote about it in my piece that night.
You had a pretty good game 1, but you made some mistakes that you need to get back to your defense. The offense will come from there. I imagine a break out of the box isn't exactly what you meant, but how good did that one feel?
Yeah, that felt good. I mean, first of all, glory to God. I mean, that was, I don't get those often. I mean, and just to be able to put it away, I mean, that was nice. It was obviously not my best effort game 1 defensively, so I wanted to focus on that. And those things happen sometimes like that. So it was nice.
Go ahead, Ryan. Josh, what was it like to see Zach Parise score that timely goal, and what kind of impact has he had on your club since joining?
Well, he's got that veteran presence, right? And he's been around for a long time, and the way he takes care of himself off the ice, first of all, professional, and you realize why he's been around for so long. And then when he comes on the ice, he's just a smart player, knows how to get around, knows how to go to the right areas, and you look at, like, the game gets tougher, and he ends up scoring a goal. So that's just the kind of player he is, and shows the veteran presence that he's had and why he's been in the league for so long.
Kyle and Evan. Alex, just hoping you could take us through your game tonight after Winnipeg scored that early goal. What is sort of your mindset from that point, and how do things play out from there?
I felt I played pretty good in that moment. The puck was going to my right side, and he gets a rebound to the left, and then it bounces back to the right, kind of tough position. And I tried to just, it's a long game, reset, keep to my game plan, and trust the process.
Evan and Tracy.
Josh, I think Caleb Jones played 5 games over the last 3 months of the regular season, but he's consistently working hard in practice and staying ready. What can you say about a teammate like that who doesn't get a ton of opportunities, but when the playoffs come around, he's ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really hard thing to do, right? Keep yourself mentally sharp the way he has. It was a long season of, not many games, but being around, continuing to work. So for him to step into the lineup and, arguably one of the toughest situations, playoffs where the speed's higher, a lot higher, and for him to be able to fill minutes and play well and be solid for us, I mean, it's big credit to him. It's tough to do.
Tracy, then Sean.
Josh, this is for you. Just how critical has Arturi Lehkonen been? How clutch does he continue to prove to be for you guys?
No, I mean, he's a warrior, that guy. We all know it. We all call him that. Goes to the hard areas, plays that tough style game, forechecks hard, blocks shots, goes to the hard areas, does exactly what we need to do in playoffs. And I think that's why you see all the success he's had in the playoffs, because it's just his game flourishes.
Go ahead, Sean.
Josh, people look at the shot clock in the third and maybe not get an idea of how good you guys were taking it and tying it up in the offensive zone and shutting it down. Give me an idea how a team that's known for more for its offense kind of struck that perfect balance in shutting that third period down.
Well, I think we have confidence in our defensive structure. It's just we haven't been able, we haven't showed it as much as we should have. Little mistakes, whatever it may be. So we focused on what the plan was coming into the game, and I think we just executed well. I mean, I don't want to say everything that we were doing, but I just felt like forwards were getting in lanes, blocking shots at the end in the third period. I felt like there was more block shots, sacrificing the body a little bit more, and getting that desperation. I think that's what it comes down to in the D zone. Sometimes you got to get desperate.
Jesse, then Ken.
Alex, it seemed like after the game there was maybe a couple extra taps on the pads and helmet bumps. What can you say about your teammates over these last couple of days and even this game here tonight?
Yeah, they've shown so much support to me over the last couple of days. Very rough first game, obviously, and I just felt so much trust in the room from everybody. I appreciate it so much. Helped me reset and know that they got my back. I know I'll help them out as well during this playoff. It was huge from them. Appreciate it.
Josh, how was your team able to draw on that resilience? It's sort of been a foundation piece for you guys over the years here.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you come into the playoffs, you have to be resilient, right? There's going to be roller coasters, ups and downs, and coming in, with that win in 22, that was a big focus of ours, was not letting frustration set in, whatever it may be, just being that resilient, callous brain where you just keep pushing forward and sticking to your game plan, and the results will come. And I think we have a few guys in our room, obviously that have been there. We got more guys that have been in the same situation on other teams in the playoffs. So it's something that we know we have, that resiliency and how important it is in the playoffs. We got guys that know how to do it. It's good.
Okay, last two, Evan, then Kyle.
Alex, the crowd here is intense and it's loud. Are you the type of guy who can block that out, or do you try to feed off of that energy?
Try to enjoy it. I've seen the atmosphere here before on YouTube. It's one of the more fun buildings probably in the playoffs. The way they come together and the whole crowd is white. Super fun, even though I don't really focus on them, but you feel the energy, you feel the atmosphere, you feel how important it is, and how much fun those games are.
Wow. Alex, you mentioned that you visualize what it would be like to have that feeling to win the first game in this series. Did you do anything else to sort of just get your head clear coming into tonight?
Yeah, a little different routine, little less shots in the morning skate. Tried to save the energy and save the focus for the evening, I would say, and just get into the positive mindset. Like I said, the guys helped me out so much in that. Just a lot of support overall in the room for everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Stay safe.
Got it.
I got to say happy birthday to my 4-year-old at home. I know she's sleeping.
Oh.
Well, that was what it was.
Those were pressers.
But two guys that earned it tonight, right? We already talked about Georgiev plenty, but Josh Manson wasn't any good in game one. There's no doubt about it. And not only does he come out and clean up his game some, but he scores a critical insurance goal for Colorado that makes their third period a whole lot easier.
That's a solid game.
Yeah. Eric, I'm sure you know, being a pro athlete, that mindset, one of the hardest things in the world to do, to be able to reset like that. You had it in your 3 keys for tonight. Goldfish memory.
You have to. And Josh Manson, for example, has been around a long time. His dad played a long time. His dad coached a long time. I liked the way he met the media yesterday. I was listening to his presser, and he's like, I got to get back to what I do, what I am. Again, now he gets a breakaway goal. That is a huge goal. So it's like, wow, what a liar.
More of a happenstance thing than anything, but he finished it.
But you can tell he challenged himself, and you have to challenge yourself as a team. You have to challenge yourself as an individual. But it was great to see him bounce back. He was nasty. He was mean the way he's been. He was confident. He didn't fall asleep, for half a second, maybe like in game one. So it was great to see him. What's not great to see right now is it is past midnight in Winnipeg, so it is technically DNVR after dark, and I'm going to get sick here.
Not that bad, buddy.
I'm kidding. It's way better than me.
If you want a physique like me, Illegal Pete's. And I mean that in the best way possible, because I love Illegal Pete's, and that's why I have this belly. Absolutely delicious burritos, queso to die for over there. Go check out Illegal Pete's yourself if you want to get your burrito on. It's a great place to pregame when you're coming down to the DNVR bar. There's one just a couple blocks down the road. You can get yourself a burrito and then come watch Avs or Nuggets playoff sports.
Great
right
queso.
Here.
Great queso.
The queso's so good. They also have happy hour from 3 to 8 p.m. So if you want to have a few their margaritas, can't go wrong with Illegal Pete's. Go check them out. Illegal Pete's 14 locations in Colorado now. They're expanding, so I guarantee there's one near you. Excuse me. And then go check out Infinity Park in Glendale. Go check out the Colorado Raptors. Some of the best rugby in the country gets played right here in Colorado at Infinity Park. If you've never been, the park itself is awesome, especially in the springtime with all the plants blooming and all that. Super cool place to just go for like a lunch picnic or something like that. Got to go check it out if you haven't. If you're into rugby or you want to get into rugby, they're the place to go. You can watch the American Raptors games there. You can also watch them on AmericanRaptors.com where they stream. You can get in. Tickets just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. So it's a great time. Go have some fun. Follow the DNVR Rugby podcast, too. They've got 101 pods if you want to learn the game. And they also have tons of amazing interviews with everybody in the rugby world. Shout out our guy, Colton Strickler, for that. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We kind of already touched on this, but Avs third period. Good, solid, played with elite hockey. Too turtley. Somewhere in between.
I think it's somewhere in between. It's too turtley for my taste. But when you go back and you actually look at the quality of chances allowed by the Avalanche, it's effective.
Yep.
If you needed shots on net because you placed a bet that you didn't like it, you know.
Yeah, that was stressful.
But I listen. They did play perfectly. I have a hard time when you don't apply pressure, but you get caught in that vicious cycle, right? Because you're pinned down a little bit, then you get to the red and you're like, okay, I got to change. You dump and change. So there's no. It's only a set forecheck, right? There's no real forecheck. So next thing you know, you're just, again, it is a turtle, but not on purpose. But you really, you know, what I'm saying is, because you can't really go at them.
I really don't think it was that much of a turtle.
No,
honestly.
but you know what I mean. I hate the word turtle anyway, but I mean, there wasn't, they had 2-3 times, though they had some chances. They ended up with no shots, but there were big scoring chances. So it's not like they totally reverted back. As a coach, I think there'll be, no, we liked it. We didn't give them much. They didn't. But I just don't like to be pinned down in your own end because freaking we saw it the other day. Like, you know, like a shot can go off like 2-3 bodies. Next thing you know, it's in the back of your net. And you're like, oh, crap, now you're in a game. So I like the pressure game. I like to press the game. But the Avs do it so perfectly usually because if it doesn't mean you have to take chances, doesn't mean you have to give up on man rushes, but you can still press the game. You know?
I'll say it this way, because maybe calling it not a turtle is the wrong definition.
Yeah, exactly.
The Avs certainly didn't play enough offense in that period.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with that definition, but they also only gave up 8 shots. It's not like they were getting pelted.
No, it was more like boring, and I know you have to do that. You know, I mean, at some point, and. You know, and it worked out good. It did work, but you're right. You hit the nail on the head. It's boring. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's better than throwing some BLTs. You know what I mean?
For
Which
sure.
is no good. You know, no blue line turnovers. But, you know, it is what it is. It worked out great. Can't complain about that. And the damage was limited. You know, like you said, only 8 shots again. So probably what? 4 big scoring chances, maybe. So not so bad when you knew you're going to face something, a real push from a Winnipeg team that's down by 2 at home, game 2, going on the road for 2. You want to have a good period. This didn't pan out for them, and it worked out for the Avs, so it was good.
Final 20 minutes, they had 26 shot attempts, only 8 got on goal.
Yeah,
12 scoring chances. It's their highest in a period in this game. But only 3 high danger chances, which was matched by the Avs.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, not that bad. Yeah,
that's my point. Yeah.
You're really talking about Winnipeg ratcheted up the willingness to just throw pucks at Georgiev, and the Avalanche were fine with that and said, okay, we're just not going to let it be a lot here. And that, for the record, those numbers include the power play that they had.
Yeah, that's right.
So. You know, it's fine. Like, it's not...
Didn't love it, didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of third period. It's really effective. It wasn't like they were turtling and the Jets were pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing.
Getting their heads kicked in, yeah.
Right, and because at that point, you're just like... At that point, it's frustrating because you're like, this is inevitable... that at least one gets by you, and then you're in a completely different atmosphere.
It really didn't feel like that, yeah.
Exactly. And so, you know, I was telling Eric as they were getting through the period, I was like, that's 1 5-minute segment, that's 2, that's 3. They just kept getting a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, and then the game was over.
Yep.
And you're like, huh.
And that's how you win hockey games routine.
Yeah, and it's definitely boring, but it's effective. And you're gonna win You're gonna win playoff games if you can just balance those two things. If you can just balance, all right, we're gonna play it safe. We're gonna dump it in. If we see an opportunity, we're gonna go and get it. We're gonna try some stuff we're gonna try some stuff in the offensive zone when we have an opportunity.
Yep.
My only thing is, didn't need it because they had 4 and the other team had 2, so it was 4-2. But selfishly, I would have liked to seen how Hellebuyck reacted after giving up that shit burger in the second period, 4-on-10. Right? Anybody? We complain when Georgie does it, 4-on-10, 4-on-12. We talk about it all the time. It's that swing. It's tough to win games.
Yep.
So Winnipeg had a hard time to win that game. When you give 4 burgers and 10 shots, it's tough. Like, it is tough.
Bless you.
And then, but I would have liked to see if Hellebuyck would have seen more real chances from the Avs just to see, could they have gotten to 6 or 7 again? You know what I mean? Like, maybe. Maybe. I just felt he had a free pass. And again, that's selfish, not smart of me to think that way.
I don't need 6 or 7. I just need that W at the end of the game.
That's what I'm saying. But then on the flip side, I'm like, selfishly, I would have liked to see if they could have gotten more, you know?
All right, let's get to those super chats.
Would have really liked one more real one, but sure, fine.
They got the job done.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sweating that.
No, I'm saying I love the dub. I'm saying, put that aside. If it was regular season, not a playoff, I would have liked to see if could they have gotten more, you know, just to really hammer him, you know.
$2 from Justin, who says that third period looked a lot like Game 6, 2001. I don't remember what that game looked like off the top of my head.
That was the one in New Jersey where Patrick Wall was
just a monster.
Beast. Yeah,
got it.
2-1.
Well, there you go.
I think Footy or Borky scores.
It's Foots.
Foot, yeah.
Ray bats it out of the air. It's about to go in his net. Was that Game 6 or was that Game 2?
That I don't remember.
Well, buddy, it's going in. He bats it out of the air, like right in the middle of the net.
Either way, the goalieing was good. $14 from Stefan, who says, unable to stay up and listen to the pod, but I will in the morning on my way to work. What a game from everyone. Kiviranta, Georgiev, and the Manimal. Love you guys. Peace. Thank you very much. $20 from Greg.
Kiviranta love in here.
He was fine. I don't think he was that good tonight. Not. With that being said, the Avs' depth did exactly what they needed to do in this game. They were very good as a whole unit. $20 from Greg Brown, 1 of 16. Let's go. $7 from producer Drew, who says, let's go. Eat your heart out, Jesse Pollock. Keep Parise off the top line, please.
All of that is well said.
Yep. Here for it. $5 from Augustus, who says, Georgie and Manson with the redemptions felt like a weight off my shoulders. Kivy, does that say Kivy? I assume that says Kivy. Get like the MVP despite no goals. First time super chat tarps off. Thank you for the super chat as a first time user. Shout out to all the people that have no idea what's going on and why my shirt's off right now.
This is the guy that thinks I'm texting, I'm looking up numbers from the game.
That's right. We work on these things.
These boomers don't understand technology. $2 from Wilson, who says, can't say Georgiev went out with a whimper. Go Avs. Did a whole lot more than do that. No kidding. $5 from Michael, who says, oh, it's a super sticker. All right, hang on.
And cut.
Pair character lifting some weights, saying keep it up. Thank you very much.
Are you the pair character in this case?
I probably look like the pair character, I assume. Except for I don't lift weights. That seems obvious. $2 from Schickster. Hey, shout out Schickster. All these other Jets fans who bailed on us, Schickster's still here. Let's go. I appreciate you showing up, win or loss.
Every year we get a couple of opposing fans who are cool. And then you always get the assholes that roll in here when their team wins and they want to talk shit. And now that they've lost, those guys are all watching Winnipeg Sports Talk and ignoring that they ever bombarded Avalanche podcast.
GG, Avs outplayed at own game. Georgiev, I don't know what those other letters are. And you want the Jets to go. $5 from Editor Edward, who says Landy needs to skate at all practices the rest of the way.
Oh, it's George much better.
George much better. Got it. Thank you, Tiff. I mean, I don't think Landy skating at practice really had a whole lot of impact on this game.
Look, if he's skating at practice in full gear, I'm with it.
Skating in sweats, a little less.
Yeah, I'm not ready for a Coach Landy era.
$5 from the Walrus, who says, I forgive Georgiev for game 1.
That's funny.
But I still trust him like a fart. Depends on what I ate for dinner. Rudo Boobs.
Some meme super chat if there ever was one.
Compacted in a lot of memery, but a fair point. Georgiev has to go out and repeat quality performances. And yes, he absolutely earned the trust to get another game for me.
Yeah, if he turns around and gives up 6 goals on Friday night, we're right back in the same position.
Exactly.
All the people coming at us in on Twitter and being like, you guys are assholes. Like, are you guys going to turn around and be like, oh, my bad? Absolutely not.
I hope we never find out.
Knock it off.
I hope we never find out. I hope Georgiev plays great.
But I like the point because I tell my kids now for years when I drop them off at school, and it's daily, remember, never trust a fart.
I mean, it's good life advice,
It's good advice before going to school. It's not good to be walking down the aisles.
$20 from the incredible Drew, who says, awesome bounce back by Georgie. You guys think Mikko is still messed up from the Ekholm play somehow? How much do I need it to contribute to get Jax back on to explain how the Slewfoot wasn't at least a minor? Effing cowards.
We were all also equally confused as to how the world's most obvious Slewfoot was not at least a minor.
I can't explain that.
And
one to you,
the
man.
Avs not only walked out of that with a hurt player and no power play, but it got evened up.
Yep.
What a joke, dude.
I mean, I think they'll look. They look at every play. You're gonna hear back about this one. It's a Slewfoot.
Yep.
So it's either gonna be like a fine or something or whatever it is, but it's gotta be something. It will be. It's an automatic Slewfoot. It's not an accident. It happened.
An accident.
Luckily,
That's what I said. It's not an accident.
I
It
know.
happened.
Luckily, Walker ended up fine. So
Yeah.
all's well that ends well. But
Avs won. Walker's okay. We're cool. But come on, man.
yeah.
Well, you don't call that, but you call the what was it? The one
The
that
interference on Duhaime.
No, Jones. Like
Oh yeah, that was was not a penalty.
Yeah.
That just was. He didn't even touch him.
Man.
so that was piss poor. Yeah.
$5 from Cade, who says Jets are about to see the McAltitude unleashed. I hope so. I've never heard that phrase before, but I hope so.
It was big on Lightning Twitter.
Was it? Okay. Well, cowards.
He's a home ice merchant. Okay.
Really?
See, John Cooper losing his mind again today.
I did not, actually.
The first
Big surprise.
Panthers goal, they thought there was goalie interference, was clearly pushed in by a bolt, so it counted. Cooper couldn't stand it. Whiny.
Well, as we saw during the Stanley Cup final, that guy whines about a lot of imaginary shit.
He sure does.
Great coach, though.
He was.
I still think he's pretty damn good.
Me too, honestly. I actually loved him. $10 from Lewis. I think it's Lewis. I hope it's not Louie. I won my bowling league 50-50 tonight. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Thank you.
Excellent.
$2 from
We're with
John. Just the $2. We appreciate you. Another 5 from the incredible Drew, who says, Eric, would a fair comparison for Lucky from the Avs 1.0 be Deadmarsh, or does someone else fit better?
Oh, I'm gonna go prime Mike Ricci for me, because he was Lucky. You know, Lucky played PP, played PK, scored big 5-on-5 goals. You know, was greasy, was dirty. You know, I'm gonna go Ricci. Daddy was fast and he was a machine gun. Like, he was just tough as nails and had a sick shot and could score 30. I mean, I don't think Lecky could ever score 30. You know what I mean? Daddy could score 30. He probably would have scored 40, 45 if he would have had a longer career. So I would say Mike Ricci would be a great comparable. Obviously, Lecky's faster. Ricci couldn't skate. Sorry, Mike.
Remember that name in a couple of weeks, by the way. $2 from the Schick, who says, vibes, 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 vibes. Dab. You're welcome. And then I'm blaming Andrew for this. No, we're doing it right now. $100, incredibly generous. Thank you so much. That's a ridiculous amount of money. Tarps off.
Oh, God.
Y'all, let's go Avs. I know. This is what you paid for. Soak it in. $10
I think I've soaked in about as much as I can handle.
We're almost done. $10 from John, who says, not as much as my Moneybags brother, but I had to give something, LOL. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you very much.
Or not.
$5 from Jacob. Zach Parise has passed Matt Duchene for franchise goals in the playoffs. Imagine reading this 8 years ago. It's from another planet, it feels like.
we were reading that from the best Avs Twitter account.
Shout out Avs Stats.
Yeah.
That account is the best.
We all had just hearty cackles.
It's unreal to see that be a thing. And then $2 more from Justin. He's saying he meant Game 6 of 2021, which presumably you mean Game 6 of 2022.
Yeah, Game 6 of 2021 was
the end of time.
Not one that I want to remember in Vegas. No, thank you.
Game 1 of this series closely represented that game, maybe. But the Game 6 of 2022, honestly, not that the defense wasn't good tonight in that third period, but that the defense in Game 6 of 2022 was some of the best team defense I've ever watched.
Also, that team came out with bloodlust in that third period and tried to win that game.
They were
and Vasilevsky was incredible to keep that thing at 2-1.
Yep.
The Avs tonight did not do that.
Okay. You guys don't have to look at me anymore. We're done with this thing. We appreciate so many of you hanging out, even though it is super late. And the late super chat from Flat saying Wood, Kivy, and Trennan were fire. We are off tomorrow. However, we still have a ton of content coming, including AJ Studs and Duds, my post-game video. Megan will have post-game stuff, too. So go find all that at DNVR.com. $5 from Pete, too, saying a little something for the win. Puck can indeed hit George. We appreciate y'all. We will be back Thursday doing an off-day pod before Game 3 on Friday. So we will see you for that one with our shirts on.
We all silly like the mayor.